Yes, I know. It took a while, but here we are. You know, the problem with a new console and reviewing a new console is you have to stop playing the new console to review it. I don't want to stop playing. More playing, less talking. But anyway, here it is, the Xbox One review. Wow. Now, going back to the reveal where Microsoft sort of just put what they had down on the poker table, everyone took away TV. And it was funny. I went back and I watched the video the other day on the highlights, right? The highlights on the reveal, and someone spliced together. It was like a 5-minute video of every time they said TV at the reveal. And it made it seem as if this thing was just useless. And that was what the gamers took away. And that was what the entire industry took away. And it was sort of like leading into E3, everyone felt like Microsoft had a lot to prove. Like they really had to show that they're all about games. And they did that. And then it came out. And then here it is. Joy. Oh joy, did Microsoft deliver. Not only did they deliver 100% of the experience of what they promised and what they showed at the reveal, but they had an exceptionally strong launch, which is what I was not expecting. Yeah, this thing looks like something from Halo. I don't know why. I look at it, reminds me of like Halo, the first Halo. Like, I don't know, something that was sitting on the warthog somewhere. It's not a particularly ugly design, but it's not a particularly beautiful design. I don't know. I may be one of the only people in the world who doesn't give a shit what his console looks like. Just like my PC, I don't care. It goes under a desk, behind a monitor. It goes in a console, entertainment console center, and like, I don't look at it. I don't care. Like I said, it's not the best, not the worst. I have no qualms with the design. What I do love is the little glowing Xbox sign that's on the Xbox. It's on the Kinect, and it's on the controller. I really like that. If you game in the dark like me, it stands for a beacon of all things Xbox. The Kinect is also really uniformed in terms of design to the console itself. Even the power brick, I don't understand why the hell they designed the power brick the way they did. It has a gloss and matte fit. Like, why the hell would they put so much effort into whatever, but the power brick is beautiful as well. Yeah. At the back of the thing, there isn't much going on. You'll see the USB ports. There's a USB port on the side. You'll have your HDMI in and out on the back for your pass-through. Which I'm planning to connect my Roku through at some point in time because I don't have cable. So I'll see how that works out. I'm actually looking forward to that. Yeah, but the design is fine. Whatever. I think what stands out the most to me is the new controller. It received a really nice design. The bumpers and the triggers particularly are well done. Some of the feedback, people weren't happy with the bumpers because there isn't much of a give toward the top, but the way I hold the controller, it actually makes a lot of sense. I really have to move my fingers a lot less to engage the bumper. And then the triggers got this contour on the side leading up to the top of it. It's really comfortable. And after playing Forza for hours and something like a Battlefield, I find that my index fingers really are a lot less sore because of that contour. So I like that there. They replaced the back and start menu with these two other things. I don't know what the hell they are. The D-pad gets a really nice design. It's a real D-pad. The back of the controller gets a really nice redesign. There's no more nudge, that vertical nudge. That bothered the hell out of me, especially the way I held the controller. It made it awkward. Hours on end. Now it's just flat, and that's where the new battery compartment goes. Here we go with the batteries. Make sure you get the play and charge kit. I don't know what the hell Microsoft deal is with this battery thing. The controller is micro USB chargeable, which is good. I like that. The last bit of redesign that I really do enjoy is the thumbsticks. although the surface area of the thumbsticks are a little smaller, the grip is so much better. I almost didn't notice it. It feels like my hand never slips off the thumbstick now. And the sticks themselves seem a little more taller and a little more precise, so I'm happy with that. Oh, did I forget to mention the rumble and the triggers? Wow, that is a game changer in Forza. It really does help my driving in terms of how I know there's a feedback for when the car's breaking traction. I know how much gas and brake to apply. It's a game changer. That's a feature I want to see in every controller going forward on all platforms. What I did not like about the controller was that proprietary plug where the headset plugs in. The voice quality you get out of the headset that comes with it is crazy. And I don't know if that proprietary connection has anything to do with it. It sort of looks like, I don't know, USB, but it's not. It kind of looks like mini HDMI. I don't know what it is, but it sounds good, whatever it is. Can I get like a wireless? How are they gonna handle wireless? Is it gonna be like a little thing you plug into the bottom of the controller and then the headset connects to that? I don't know, but let's get some wireless going on here, Microsoft. But overall, I think if you're gonna say design, then the design for the controller takes the cake. So how about that Kinect 2? You know, I didn't have the first Kinect. I didn't care for it. I really didn't care for Kinect 2, but I think it was a very smart move on Microsoft's end to really bundle this thing, and not even bundle it, to force it on gamers, because the experience you get with the voice commands and the way it auto logs you in with your face and you say show my stuff and it knows who's holding the controller, that is really nice. In terms of games, a lot of the stuff that it does now in games is a little gimmicky, but the point is when you make something standard, people will find innovative ways to use it. On top of that, you're talking things like this thing can measure your heart rate, it can recognize your fingers, and with the whole Xbox fitness, and this is a movement. The Kinect 2 on its own is worth mentioning. It's worth a price tag. I think if they were to sell this thing, if you could plug it into a PC and they would offer the Kinect fitness stuff, this could go for about $200. It'll beat the pants out of anything else out there, especially when you bundle it with all these Billy Blank shit and I don't know, extreme fitness, whatever the things, insanity people do these days. The Kinect 2 is a big deal. Is it a big deal for gaming? I don't know. Is it a big deal for controlling the system and the experience? Yes. For fitness? Yes. That's 2 out of 3. I'll take that. Good job on Microsoft with the Kinect. And we'll get into a lot of the voice command features and how that works later on in the video. So spec wise, I really don't think it's important to mention the spec on this thing. It's worlds apart from what the Xbox 360 was. It's a decent graphics card if you would compare it to the offering in the PC world. And we all know the PC is God when it comes to gaming and graphics card, yes. But this is a medium tier graphics card, well tuned. They coupled it with 8 gigs of RAM. So Microsoft took care of it. This thing will last you the next 8 years. That's fine. What I think accounts for a lot of the innovation on the Xbox is what they did with this 3 OS running at once. So multitasking was a priority for Microsoft, and how they achieved this was really clever. So essentially it's running 3 OSs. You've got a Windows 8 Core, you've got the Xbox OS, and like some specialized version of Hyper-V which ties the two together. This is very exciting to me because in 2014, Microsoft's supposed to be launching something they're calling Threshold, which pulls their ecosystem together even more. So the Windows Phone, the Windows 8, the tablets and PCs, and your Xbox will be able to essentially, hopefully they didn't say the details, but you're looking at running the same types of apps. So imagine getting access to the same Facebook app that you get on your phone and your tablet on your Xbox. Or how does that relate to you as a gamer? Imagine playing, I don't know, a version of The Sims on your phone. You come home, you pause it on your phone, you resume it on your tablet for dinner, and then when you're done that, you pause it there and resume it on the Xbox. That's the world that I think is so exciting. I really love the direction Microsoft went with the 3 operating systems and the Windows 8 core and what that really has to offer. Let's take a look at the UI and really dig in to see what Microsoft's done here, because there's a lot to be admired here. So here we're looking at the main home screen, and this is very familiar if you've been in the Windows world for a while. I've had a Windows phone since launch. I've been on Windows 8 since developer preview. So this all looks really familiar with these live tiles. And I say live tiles for a reason, because yes, they are tiles, but they're not live, and that is high on my wish list. Like, for instance, if a new Hulu episode is pushed, I would like this tile here to flip and, let me know there's a new episode. Or if a friend just started playing something in Battlefield or got an achievement, it would be nice that this thing flips and just give me some basic information there. But that's not what it is now, so yeah. But off to the left here on the home screen, you've got your friends. This big tile is pretty much whatever application you have active right now, or your last used application if nothing's open. There's your settings, your TV, your insert disc, which I've never actually done because I downloaded all my games digitally, so I don't know if my Xbox is working. I could have the disc issue, who knows. You got your My Games and apps here you download, and then Snap. So off to the left we have pins. This is where you pretty much pin, for lack of a better word, what's important to you, and it makes it easier to get to. So you'll see like my games here. You'll see the Upload Studio, which I use pretty often. You guys should know if you see those clips. I have my Netflix, my Skype, Amazon, everything that's just important to me. It makes it a lot easier as opposed to digging in the my games and apps over here. It's just something that you will get used to over time, and I find it very easy to use. And again, mainly because I've invested in the Windows ecosystem for so long, it's just really nice to see this across the board. This guy right here, shout out to this, is one of my my Xbox Music playlists, which is synced across the Xbox, the tablet, and the phone. So it's really nice to have my music and playlist wherever I am. I really can't get enough of that Xbox video here, as you can see. So the pins are really dope. And then off to the right you've got the store. So this is what you think it would be. You've got your games. You can go in here and purchase the 1 or 2 games that are available right now. I'm being facetious. One thing I will say is I haven't seen much demos for these things. So, oh look, speaking of the devil, there's one for FIFA and Xbox Fitness. Shout out to Edgar. He did a good write-up on that. Xbox's offerings in the movie department with this app have come a really long way, and it used to be some really crappy titles, and as time goes on, they really started to get a lot of new releases, and then they started to backfill the library. So there's enough to keep you busy here on a weekend. You need some entertainment. And then here's the Xbox Music. This has been the same for a while. It definitely looks a lot more pretty here, I guess you could say. I really like the layout. And the music app itself, we'll get into that. But yeah, this is pretty simple. Then we've got the apps. It is what it is. Everything is an app. So you'll notice like you have Blu-ray. The Blu-ray player is an app. This use code thing that you can use. You hold up the code or whatever it is to the Kinect, and it'll automatically take you to the app and purchase it or whatever. Really dope. The NFL. I know a lot of guys on my friends list use that. Not into sports, so I don't really care. Overall, I think the home screen experience is very intuitive. I really like how easy it is to use it. and I love how familiar it is in terms of if you've been in the ecosystem. And even if you're not in the ecosystem, getting used to this really won't take you long at all. What I will say, if I've read and heard some feedback from a lot of people on they missed their premium dashboard. Like Battlefield has one where your friends are standing behind tanks, and there's Forza. People like that sort of stuff, but here you sort of feel Microsoft's ideology on simple. So the tiles pop and there's just black in the background. Now up above the home screen, you'll see two icons. The first is the notifications icon. That takes you to your notifications. So anytime you record a clip, you can just play and edit it here, which is a nice shortcut as opposed to launching Upload Studio or even launching just the upload, I think it's called, and then going in. This is a shortcut here. You also get quick access to your messages you receive and your party invites. So yeah, I appreciate what this does. That little it sort of replaces the functionality in the guide button. Off to the right of that, you got your profile menus, whatever you have on the box itself, and you can choose to switch if you don't want to use the Kinect to do so, or say show my stuff. Now in terms of the friends list and the activity feed, Microsoft's done a really good job here. I can tell you this friends feed thing this activity feed can be addicting. Right now there's not a lot really going on because it's sort of early and no one's on, but you can see it really differentiates who's on an Xbox and who's on a 360 or a One, I guess I should say. Shout out to Edgar. He has both. He's watching Hulu right now, I guess. Here you see Skyline started watching TV. Payday was watching the NFL. Here's some uploaded game clips. Just show you how that works. Let's go in and see what he uploaded.
Achieved with CryEngine.
Punisher really didn't upload anything. This happens sometimes, and I'll get into that later, where it just records random shit based on the game or what achievements you get, or if you level up it'll do that, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, you can see the activity feed is it's well laid out. So to the left you've got your friends, your followers, your messages, achievements, and game DVR. If you notice, I have 103 friends and then 105 followers. Finally I'm able to get more than 100 friends, thank God. Followers are pretty much anyone that's, they run into your clips randomly and they say, hey, I like what this person's doing, notify me in my feed anytime they have a new clip uploaded or a new achievement or whatever, without actually being on my friends list. So this is good. This is something really nice for, let's say you want to follow Major Nelson but you don't want to play with him per se. It's a very Twitter-esque way of doing things, which I think is effective. Let's actually go into the friends and show you the different views here. So here you can see everyone's offline again. It's early as hell. You can actually change the view here, so you can have favorites, and then you have online now. It defaults to everyone, which then sorts by online first, and you can't really change the default. I've tried leaving it to online now, but it doesn't really take. And then you have find gamer tag, obviously. So pretty simple. I really appreciate the little card here. I could use some more information, but on the other hand, I feel like if they put more information, this view becomes a little more difficult to look at. So from here you can go in and look at the person's card. There's his reputation. He's got 47 friends, well, 45 friends, 47 followers. I can send him a message. I can compare the games we've been playing, our gamer score. He's in my favorites, of course. Invite him to a party. Why would I want to report him? Such a stellar individual. Here's his recent activity, which I think is dope. Here's his game clips he's been uploading. Let's just click that again to show you how smooth that is. And the quality isn't the best again. We'll really dig into Game Studio a little later. Oh, near miss. Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is really cool. I find myself using this a lot to keep track of what my friend's been doing, so on and so forth. And then you have his friends. Of course, these 3 dots here are reminiscent from the Windows Phone. You click it, you can see more of whatever that is. And that happens to be Edgar's friends. So let's back out. Now we go over to followers. And this is pretty much the same layout. Same deal. And then we've got our messages. I really don't check much messages on the actual Xbox. I get the messages on my phone and my tablet. So I just check them there. But it's not a bad experience. What I will tell you that I've missed is the ability to send voice messages. That was something that was really more so entertaining because I got a lot of hate mail on the 360. For you who don't know, hate mail is lingo for people sending you voice messages saying racist shit because you're kicking their ass. But hey, I really do miss that feature, and that feature was something that was added after the fact. So I really expect them to add that in a later revision coming down the line. But for now, I will say it's a missed feature because that voice clip is a lot quicker than typing. Although using a smart glass, and I'll touch on that later, using a smart glass device, you can now use the keyboard on either your phone or tablet, which makes it a lot easier to type versus the on-screen keyboard, which is here, can be cumbersome. So yeah, in terms of looking at a message, there really isn't much we can report it. Shout out to Kill, cool dude, dope Battlefield player. You can reply, delete, and close. That's it. That's all we need anyway until they add the voice back. Achievements, there's been some talk about achievements here. Some people, like, if you see when I clicked it, it actually takes you into an achievement application. I don't know, the fact that you're removed for a few seconds is not the best thing in the world, but as a whole, how achievements are handled on the Xbox is so much better than it was before on the 360. It's a lot more pretty. The clip art is a lot better to look at, but I don't know. I'm on the fence with the experience. It could have been a little more streamlined. Maybe they could have done it like they did the notifications, but I like it, and I can say that because I'm not really that guy who's an achievement whore. So I'm not in achievements all day. I probably wouldn't be the best person to rate that feature, but it works for me. Die-hard achievements fans may tell you different. And then you've got your game DVR. We'll touch on that again later. My profile here, I can edit my profile. What I don't like is I don't get the ability to I don't see like my models. I don't know where that stuff is. They sort of took it out. I like to really, shout out the ignorant gamers community and have some arrogant shit there to say, but that's gone. There isn't really much here. It's real simplistic right now. Again, recent activity and then my game clips. Whatever, it's there. Off to the right of the activity feed, you have your favorites. Now, here's something we discovered as time went on. It was interesting to see that you wouldn't get notifications when people sign on anymore, but in retrospect, when you can now have well over 100 friends and followers, that gets kind of crazy to be notified every time someone signs on. So the way they did it was turn that off, and then for you to be able to see who signs on, you just add them to your favorites. So I think that was a dope way of handling that. I really appreciate the organization. And then off to the right, you've got parties. We'll touch on that later, but there's no parties right now, so there you see it. Upload Studio is one of the biggest surprises in the Xbox One for me. So what Microsoft did here was they gave gamers the ability to quickly get in and out and edit their videos and share them. You have the ability to share to your Xbox Live feed, as well as the ability to upload a copy of your video to your SkyDrive, which for us then makes it onto YouTube, and it's a very seamless experience. You can use the record that command using your Kinect, or you can use the game DVR. Now the difference between the two, it took me a little while to understand the difference, but the record that command grabs the last minute of gameplay. So when you're in the middle of something, it grabs from the time you say record that to 60 seconds back, which is perfect because you only capture that moment, which is really what you want, right? You don't want to do it the way we've been doing it for years, which is record an hour-long Battlefield session and have to search through that video to get a 30-second clip. That's annoying. Also, what they've done is, let's say you somehow missed that 60 seconds, you want a little further back, you can pull up the DVR and say end clip now, and this will take you back to 5 minutes. Keep the last 5 minutes, which is a little better because you can go back and search a little more. Now, I would like to see upwards of 20 minutes here. Reason being, the average Call of Duty match is about 15 minutes. The average Battlefield match is about half an hour, which can be ridiculous, but let me get that 20 minutes, right? That's a few rounds of Street Fighter or Killer Instinct or whatever. I think it's just a well-rounded number. Now, I'm not exactly sure the effect that would have on the OS because it's constantly buffering and recording what's going on. So I can understand if we can't get that, and it's that actual limitation in memory or stability for the system, whatever. But it would be nice to see this increase to at least 15 minutes. Then you have the ability to start a new clip, and that can record up to 5 minutes. So it's nice that they thought this out, that you can go forward or backward 5 minutes using the game DVR, and the record that command pulls you back, records back to 60 seconds. So when you have your actual video footage recorded, Upload Studio makes it super easy to edit. So you've got Just Trim, which gives you you can do just that one video, or you've got these two. You can do a picture-in-picture, which is pretty cool, using your Kinect, and that's kind of popular in like the Twitch community. And then you've got your bookends. I don't really understand what the hell this one is, but multi-clip is what I use most of the time. So you get upwards of 5 clips that you put together in a montage. The thing about that is you have to use all 5 clips, but you can use a mixture of the 5 clips or a Kinect video. So there's some really creative things you can do here, even though it seems pretty simple. So let's choose a clip here, and I've got a ton of clips, man. Let's let this load up. One thing I will say is, when browsing for clips, you've got as many as I have. It takes a little while to sort of pull them up and to even sort through them. I don't know how long it keeps them. Like, I know some clips are recorded automatically. You know, you level up, you get a promotion. Those things are recorded automatically, and they're deleted in a period of time. I don't know up to when. The clips you actually record, I don't know if they'll be deleted over a period of time. That remains to be seen, and I'll update you guys on that to really dig in and get some feedback on how that actually works. But for now, I've got well over 180 clips, I think, last time I checked. So here's just a short clip, so I'll drop that in. and now it gives me the ability to trim it. So trimming is really easy. You see me moving the left box. That's with the left thumbstick, and then the right is with the right thumbstick. I can rewind, fast forward, and I can play. It's really simple here. And when I'm done, just hit A, and that trims the clip, and I'm back in. You can just do it over. Now the voiceover, you can. I don't have the microphone plugged in right now, but the impressive part about the voiceovers is the quality that you get from the mic that comes with the Xbox. It's insane. If you listen to some of the YouTube videos, you'd swear I was using my Yeti mic. So I really appreciate that quality. And of course, there's a skin you can drop to just give your video an interesting look when it first starts. No, nothing crazy here. I don't know. You'll probably get tired of seeing those things. Here's the triangle thing. It gives it a little flair, but what the hell ever. I expect them to add some of those later, add some more interesting ones. But yeah, Upload Studios is a big deal for me, because a lot of those 2-minute, 3-minute clips that I've been uploading in Battlefield are actually done here, and it doesn't take long to do them at all. And it really changed the way I upload my footage, and I'm able to do it a lot more frequently and get it out to you guys a lot quicker because of how simple and effective it is. I almost haven't recorded anything with my hog in a long time, simply because I gotta drag it off the PC, I gotta put it in Vegas, I gotta do the voiceovers, then I gotta render. It's so much easier here. I can't say enough for the Upload Studio and how much of a dope feature it was, and how much I wasn't really expecting it. So here you see Snap. Snapping is one of the benefits of the OS. I really appreciate how Snap works, and it's got its quirks. This, of course, can be activated with the Kinect, where you say Snap and then you say the app right after. It's a pretty dope feature depending on what you want to snap. I wouldn't snap things like Netflix, or like that just looks silly on the side to me, but something like the activity feed, like that's something worth snapping. Something like Xbox Music, that's worth snapping. Now the problem with Xbox Music is I don't want to snap it. I want it to play in the background, which it doesn't do, and that needs to be addressed. But I'll take the snap for now. I don't know why you would snap SkyDrive. I don't know why you would snap Internet Explorer, but it is a dope feature. You can snap Skype and do certain things, but you can't play a game and snap Skype. So, and that they're supposed to be addressing that later. But the ability to snap certain things is just, I think it's a really dope feature, especially for those of us on a bigger TV. And Snow's been here, he's been testing it, and he can actually play with something snapped on the side. He can play with the reduced real estate on the screen. So can I do it? No, I need my full screen. I don't even want to get into that. When my most snapped things are the activity and the party. Now, it just makes so much sense to snap the party, because there's a lot you can do when you snap the party. You can see who's in the party, you can mute them, so on and so forth. So those two are what I really snap often, and I do appreciate the snapping feature. Party has been a big topic of debate on the platform recently, and I really understand everyone's frustration, on top of the fact that I have my own frustrations. It's a lot to swallow. So Party essentially replaces the invite system. It replaces the beacon system, and it also combines the party chat. It just does a lot, and it does this all seamlessly when it works. Now, here's what your party looks like off on the right. You can, of course, invite people to the party. Let me see if I can invite John. No one's on right now. I'll invite these two guys. Hopefully they join. So you see that notification, party invite sent. That's fine. Now, what a lot of people, you'll notice here, they're grayed out because they haven't actually accepted the party invite. So it'll tell you, okay, there's 3 members in your party. He has. Shout out to you, sir, for coming through. I apologize, I'm not talking to you right now. He came in and he left. So you see the updates popping up there. Then you've got to turn party chat on. And then you got your mute everyone, mute mic, and leave party. Now, this took a while for people to figure out. When they join the party, you have to actually turn on the chat to talk to people. And it took a while. Like, why is this here? This doesn't make sense, because on the 360, you join the party, you can chat right away. But there's a very real thing that happens in the gaming communities now. Because everyone's partied up, people don't talk in the game chat. And it has been ruining Battlefield for at least a good 2 years now. So because party is the new invite and it is the new game invite, I understand how this works now. So to send a game invite to someone, you create a party. And when that person joins your party, they automatically get an invite to the game if you're playing the same game. Now, that leaves you both in the game chat where you can communicate. Now, if you want to communicate in the party chat, you then have to go and turn on party chat. I get it, but it's so different than what it used to be. And Microsoft isn't putting out any videos to really explain how this works. And up until the patch that came out recently, it hasn't been working right in the entire time. It was so inconsistent. I mean, you would be in the same party, you would have the same game in, but the invites wouldn't go out. And it was crazy because we would sit there like, okay, how do we invite to the game? Like, the invite option is missing. Little did we know, it does it automatically. Now that it has been patched, it has been working, and I think everyone's starting to really understand how it's supposed to work. Now, the caveat with that is, we use parties to really hang out. A lot of us will be in a party and we'll be playing different games. The problem is, it continues to invite you to a game you're not playing. It doesn't nag you, but I don't want an automatic invite to go out to the entire party unless I tell them to. And on top of that, you take a game like Battlefield where, let's say it's 15 of us in a party, because you can get 32 people now. 8 of us are playing this, 7 of us are playing in another server. The problem is, in Battlefield, when someone in your party joins a server, it sends an automatic invite to everyone in the server. And the invite, how Battlefield handles that invite is intrusive. It's a big ass screen that pops up in the middle of your gameplay and it says hit A to join and B to cancel. And you can't do anything about that. And I've joined and canceled so many invites by mistake, it's ridiculous. So it really is up to Microsoft to streamline that, and it's up to the game developers to make sure they're following the best practices there. But there's a lot to be improved on with the party. I understand the concept and how it makes it simple right now, but it takes some getting used to, and there's some work to be done. That's what I can say about that for now. So when you're talking to games and actually switching between them, I've got the beta. I like how Microsoft said this thing is beta. This instant switching where you can launch game after game after game after game really quick. I have it off. Before the patch, I found that it was slowing down the experience a little bit. So I turned it off, and it has been better. But the patch came out, and everything is better now. So I may actually turn it on. I may turn it back on but even when I had it on, it wasn't something I used often. I really don't switch from game to game quickly, so that it really had no bearing on how I navigated the system. But you can see here how quick games launch. The load times aren't as ridiculous as they used to be, and I can go back and let me launch Forza. These are pretty much the only 3 games I have and only 3 games I play. And again, all 3 games I downloaded digitally, and I did this on purpose because I don't want to get up to change a disc. That to me is something from 1990 whatever. I'm not about that life anymore. But I do appreciate the fluidity in the OS in terms of navigating, having your games play in the background and getting right back in. When I really smiled and appreciated it all was how you could hop out of a game and hop into to your friends list. Somebody says, "Yo, you gotta check out that clip. We'll be in a party. You gotta check out that clip I just uploaded." So you back out and you look for his clip. Let me see if I can just show. Well, here's the Rise clip from earlier. So you're watching this clip and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's dope," and you go back and then you launch your game again and it's right where you left off. This to me is the power of next generation consoles. And I know the PC dudes are laughing because they just minimize the window, but yeah, we got our version of that, our full screen version of that, and I really appreciate how this works, man. Under TV and guide, this is such a gem here. There's the ability to actually set up your devices. I don't have cable, so I don't use the TV thing. I cut the cord a while ago, I guess they would say. But you have the ability to add your TV, your cable box, and your audio receiver if you have one. This is so dope to me because when I say, and here are the power settings, when I turn on or off my Xbox, it turns off my receiver and my TV. Wow. That's something you hear about and it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. But when you walk in a room and just say the command to have the Xbox just turn on or turn off before you get out, and everything turns off, it is a thing of beauty to behold. Especially, you figure, even with the volume up, volume down thing, they did a number with this, and it's played so nice with how it all integrated with the voice command stuff. So the voice integration is one of those sticky points with the Xbox. It's one of the better innovations that it has, but it's not always a great thing. And if I had to rate it from a 1 to 100 in terms of consistency, it's about an 80. You may find yourself repeating things sometimes, especially when there's a lot going on and it's having trouble hearing you. It's pretty intelligent how it works. Now, when you're first setting it up, it says, "Hey, give me be exceptionally quiet right now," and it records what's silent, and then it plays whatever music it plays through your speakers, so it knows what noise is like. And it knows from there on out, okay, here's how hard I have to work to listen to whoever is talking. Now, when I first set it up, I was having some issues. It really wasn't listening to a goddamn thing I said, didn't recognize when I was saying things. So I then went and retrained it. So when it said be silent, I wasn't actually silent. In fact, I usually game with my AC on. I've got music in the background playing. That is my silent. I didn't have any of that going on the first time. I had dead silence. So when I retrained it, I put my music back on. I kept the AC on. And that is what I had it record as silence. From that moment on, it worked really nice. So if you're having issues with it, I would say retrain it. But don't tell your kids to be quiet. Obviously, don't have them screaming in the background. But try to be, whatever your normal silence would be, and you may find it a little easier to use. In terms of the commands, obviously my most used is the record that. Then you've got the on and off is really nice. The snap, and then you say what you want to snap. I really appreciate it. It makes things a lot easier. So much so that I don't know how to do a lot of things without the Kinect integration. So that's a good and bad thing, because if you plan on using this thing without Kinect, you might struggle to do things easily. It isn't always easy to find out how to do something if you're not using Kinect. Xbox. And here you'll see it'll give you example. You can say go home, go to Bing, watch TV. More shortcuts. Here we go. Next page. Go home. So there really is a ton of commands you can really do, and you get spoiled, man. It can be so easy. Like, for instance, I can turn on the Xbox, right, without a controller entirely. I mean, I can power it on, and this is because I have it set up with my TV and my receiver. I can turn on the entire entertainment setting without a controller. So I turn it on, I can launch Hulu, I can then play whatever. All of this navigation without a control or a remote control. It really is an amazing thing Microsoft has pulled off here. Xbox, go to Hulu Plus. TV. Popular. Family Guy. Replay latest. And just like that. And this is something I do often, like every day when I come in. And it's so crazy to have this just happen and you don't have to touch anything. Pause. Xbox, pause. See, this is dope. You can't pause because I'm at the commercial. Thank you, Hulu, for that. And by the way, it seems like the commercials on Hulu's increased tenfold. Like, why am I paying for this if there's going to be a crap load of commercials? Xbox, pause. Back. Home. Search. Search. Grey's Anatomy. See, so there's some work we got to do. So I've never actually done the search, so I expected it to sort of know what I'm talking, but the way they have it wired up is certain key commands within Hulu are actually recognized by the Kinect. So Grey's Anatomy would not be recognized because Grey's Anatomy can stand for every single sitcom out there. They can't obviously program that in. So, the experience does break somewhere, but for me, it doesn't matter because Grey's Anatomy is set under my favorites. So I really dig how this works. Xbox, go home. Stop listening. Now, it is quiet right now, and with quiet to moderate noise, or my normal, and let me not say quiet because it's not dead silence. I still got my AC on. There's a little bit of music, and you guys don't hear it because I'm using my Yeti, and it does a good job of filtering stuff out. So all you hear is pretty much the controller that sounds like Godzilla fucking something up. But I think the Kinect does a good job, and even if you take something like the newest Motorola with the OK Google command, voice is something that really requires a lot of hardware to get correct. and I think the Kinect is as close as we've ever gotten, and it leads the way in that technology. I really appreciate how it works and the convenience it offers. I don't know, it's still a little quirky. Like if you scream at it, it's like temperamental. It's like, well, I'm not responding to me if you're gonna talk to me in that tone. I find that when you're calm, even when it's really loud, when there's stuff blowing up in Battlefield or you're in Forza and the cars are racing and it's loud and you're like, Xbox, record that, it doesn't respond. Now it's responding. Stop listening. But when you're really stop listening, god damn it. But even in that same loud environment, when you just casually say Xbox, it's always like you whisper. It says, what? How can I help you, master? So it's got some quirks. The technology is definitely there, but I don't know how Microsoft will dial it in. There's some some problems down the line, but yeah, overall the Kinect's really dope. So all in all, what are you left with? The Xbox One comes in at a higher premium than the competitor, $100 more to be exact. A lot of people ask me the question, is it worth it? For an Xbox fan, it's a no-brainer. For a consumer, I would say it's worth it. And when you want to talk consoles, Microsoft took, I think, an unfair hit with the hype leading into the launch, where people didn't think it was a game console. They didn't have games, and they really show and proved when they showed up with these titles like Killer Instinct came out of nowhere. Forza 5 was just like perfects all across the board. Dead Rising is a solid game. They showed, no, this really is a gaming console, and they reassured people who were looking into the purchase and people who had already purchased it. And so much so, it had the stronger showing in the competition at launch. That was impressive. Then you have to take into account the multitasking and how it works, and then the fluidity of the experience. This is a big deal for consumers. It's easy to use, it's easy to understand, it's really pleasant to look at. Then you add another layer on top of that with the voice command and the Kinect integration. With all the quirkiness, it's still very impressive. It's hard to sell someone a $500 console or gaming console, but when you look at the Xbox and how it controls your entire living room, literally, and how it offers all of your streaming media, it plays your games, your movies, it does your Skyping. This is a $500 investment that will make your living room fun again. And if you're not into fun, you're into hardcore gaming, you can still have that. And there's tons of innovation there, and it's interesting to see how much potential is there because of what they have at launch and what we thought of the 360 from launch to when it ended. There's a lot that's going to be happening with this console, and I think the $500 purchase is so validated. If I had to give it a rating from a 1 to a 5, it would be a really high rating. I mean, the thing launched with very little problems, very little day one issues in comparison to the competition, and I feel like Microsoft just really delivered a strong product. But you gotta understand, this is not a purchase for right now. Even though right now I'm thoroughly impressed and happy with what we get, it gets better, and it is worth the purchase to see what's coming down the line and to be a part of it. So yeah, the Xbox One, man, impressive piece of technology for not only gamers but for consumers and even for enterprises. There's companies out there who purchase these things just to replace a $5,000 setup in a conference room. because they can use a $500 Xbox with Kinect and Skype. There's a lot to be said for that. But anyway, listen, I hope you enjoyed the review. Leave the comments below. Are you guys happy with your purchase? Improvements aside, there isn't much broken here. There's a lot that we would like to see change, but for the most part, do you feel the way I feel? Do you feel that Microsoft really delivered everything they said they would? Holla at me, man. It's your boy Ramon. I'm out of here. Peace.